Hi there, and welcome to today's summary. We're looking at the book The Kick-Ass Single Mom by Emma Johnson. So she discusses being financially independent, finding your sexiest self, and raising fabulous and happy children. The book is divided into four parts, namely part one, which discusses Single Mom 2.0, all right, part two, which discusses money, part three, which discusses parenting, and part four, which discusses dating. So, in the introduction, we learned that single moms have different journeys, right, which have led them to being where they are, but that no matter whose journey or what path had led you to being a single mom, right, there's certain things that all single moms will have in common. Okay, so the one thing that all single moms have in common, those who were married before, those who never got married, those whose husband got passed on, whatever the situation was, what we all have in common as single moms is that plan A didn't work out. Okay, so the initial plan of everything, the happy home with both parents and everything going according to plan did not necessarily work out. And so, which other plan are we following? In some cases, you could be following plan B, or you can be down to plan F and plan G and plan W and plan X, Y, or Z, right? But either way, plan A did not work out. So Emma Johnson shares how plan B, C, or T, may turn out or it may turn out surprisingly amazing. It does not mean that if plan A didn't work out, you doomed, right? It didn't work out, but that was not the only plan that could lead to amazing results. So whatever plan you currently on could be the plan that will lead you to amazing results. So stick around to learn more. So part one, Single Mom 2.0. What is a kick-ass single mom? Okay, now you can get a single mom, just a regular single mom, or a single mom who fits into the typical stereotype of a person who's in need, who's living off from other people and, who doesn't really have a sense of belonging, this desperate person who needs any help that they can get, right? And then you get the kick-ass single mom. So that's what this book is about, to identify the kick ass single mom and possibly to turn more people, to being not just single moms, but kick ass single moms. So, a kick ass single mom believes that mothers don't have to choose between professional and financial success, and that being an engaged and present parent, so you don't have to choose between being professional and successful in that area and being engaged and being present for your kids. Why not have both? It's actually possible. Also, it is unapologetic, or a kick-ass single mom is unapologetic and unshameful to seek out work that is exciting, creative, and fulfilling. Remember, it begins with you. You've got this huge role in front of you. So why not work on being fulfilled first so that whatever it is that you give, whatever you contribute in your parenting journey, right, it's going to come from a space of fulfillment. Also, a kick-ass single mom strives for financial independence. Okay, you don't want to be operating from lack. Never play the victim. Okay, you don't have to play, the victim who needs and who has the worst end of the stick. Everything in life just works against your good and your will, and. All right, it's not about that. So never plays the victim, is accountable and responsible for their actions. They take responsibility for their actions. Okay, they don't expect sympathy, and shame and pity from people, but they're able to do what needs to be done and do it to the best of their ability. Also, kick-ass single mom sets giant goals for herself as well as her family. It's not about, since it's you now who's taking charge of everything, that you should minimize your goals. No, still set those goals high. Work on achieving them. do your honest part. It is possible. Many have done it, right? We always say it only seems impossible until it's done. And so now we have learned on numerous occasions that it can be done. Many women out there are doing it. So if you're not part of that many, join the group as soon as possible. Okay, so again, never makes professional decisions on a single mom mentality, because single moms are stereotyped as poor, right? And so deliberately decides not to operate from that kind of a mindset, operates from a mindset of abundance, a mindset of possibility, a mindset of accomplishment. Is also hopeful and positive about romance and making sure that every dimension of their life, because hey, she's still a woman, is going to be well attended to. Is also hopeful and positive about achieving their own goals, pursuing the best of their abilities in life. Does not need a man. Now, there's a difference, with needing someone and also appreciating someone who is there. Immediately, when having that partner is a need in your life, that means you're operating from a point of desperation, right? Because then you need them to attend to certain areas which you yourself, for some reason, are not able to attend to. Now, if you are going to be able to attend to all these areas in your life and then rather want to have someone in your life, you'll appreciate them more, they'll appreciate you more. No one's going to feel as if, what, they're being used in this. No, no, no. It's appreciation, respect from the beginning all the way. Also, she prioritizes her sexuality, her femininity, and doesn't deny her romantic or sexual needs in the name of being, a good mom and setting that good example. But it's genuinely able to say, this is what I need. This is what I need for myself, right? And let me be true. Let me be true to all that I need. Also, she forgives she forgives and most importantly, she's able to forgive even herself, right? She relieves herself from unnecessary burdens, okay, like grudges is just unwanted burdens in one's life. So she relieves herself, forgives and she moves on. All right, she carries that lightness in her spirit. Because of that, she does everything she can to successfully co-parent with the other parent. All right, it's not about doing everything by yourself, but being able to say, what, this is my role. All right, someone else can come and fulfill their role. Let me allow them that ability and that opportunity. She accepts responsibility for her children's well-being, okay, doesn't throw it all off on someone else. She puts her self-care first, okay. Again, it's important that she is going to be fulfilled. She is going to be at her best performance level to be able to fulfill all the duties that await her. Okay, remember, when you are fulfilled professionally, creatively, and in your health, spiritually, sexually, and in relationships, you are a better woman and mother. Just generally, okay? And we learning in this book that it's not a matter of waiting, to have someone else in your life, having a man in your life to be able to do that, but you can do that, as the single mom. You then become that kick-ass single mom. So we'll fail, we'll stumble, we'll fall, but she will always get up because she knows that the failure is not in falling, but in failing to rise up after you have already fallen. Because, hey, in life, everybody gets to fall at some point. It's just part of the process, right? You try and walk, you fall a couple of times, you get up, you eventually can walk. You ride a bike, you fall a couple of times, eventually you can ride a bike. Okay, she accepts help from others. There's nothing wrong when you accept help from other people, ethically, especially ethically. And she prioritizes relationships that nurture her and her family. So she's genuine to attending her needs and she knows what those needs are. Let's talk about your single mom identity, according to Emma Johnson. It is important that you become comfortable with how you introduce yourself as a single mom. Single moms introduce themselves for the most part as a choice mom, or single mom by choice, as a divorced mom, or a not yet married mom, or a solo parent. People have different variations as to how they would introduce themselves, but it's quite important that you don't come across as one who has joined the typical labeling of what such can mean. It is important that you indicate, a space of acceptance of who it is that you call yourself, or how you introduce yourself. And so, Emma Johnson suggests the following single mom manifesto: that a kick-ass single mom believes that mothers do not have to choose between professional and financial success and being engaged and present. So, for example, you reject any notion that stay at home moms are better moms, or that children require a parent home full time in order to thrive. Remember, these kids are going to be exposed to so many, things in life. They're going to go out there, participate in different, areas, different kind of responsibilities, and with the advancement of technology, the advancement of globalization, there will be a lot of uncertainty that they'll be exposed to. There'll be a lot which requires them to be out of their comfort zone that they'll be exposed to. There'll be a lot that tests their ability to endure, their endurance, their adaptability, their flexibility. So it's quite important that, one who is raised in that kind of environment, raised in a single family kind of environment, as a child, to understand that, what, you actually make the most of this situation. There's so many benefits with this kind of a family, and enjoy them, right? There is no one type of perfect family anymore. There's so many different families out there. Some, you get man and man, you get woman and woman, right? You get grandparents taking, you get kids who are heading families nowadays. And so, it actually has gotten to a point where there's more of the unique family settings than the traditional, man and woman kind of setting. So, with kids and what they're exposed to, they're able to learn that you make the most of the family setting, and family can be bliss regardless, of the individual members that are there. So a kick-ass single mom seeks without guilt or shame work that is exciting, creative, and fulfilling. Kick-ass single mom strives for financial independence. You don't have to feel ashamed about it. It's quite important that you are financially independent, because when you have, the financial independence, it actually helps you to operate from a space of abundance and not a space of lack, for a space of options and alternatives, rather than a space of limitations and, I'm confined to this. Other people get to decide because I don't have resources. It actually is a game changer when you strive and pursue and achieve financial independence. So, very important, even if you don't suffer actively toxic people in your life, it is still critical to take a harsh assessment of the people in your midst and do some serious editing. Because the people that are in your midst, especially when you are working to identify yourself, when you're working to accept and be comfortable in the situation that you find yourself in, it's quite important that you expose yourself with people that are going to be uplifting, not necessarily telling you things you want to hear, but uplifting, in that they'll be truly and genuinely supportive of you, supportive of your growth, and actually there to assist wherever it is you need, like, let's say, guidance, right? And mentorship, hints and tips, and not to look down on you whenever it is that you need assistance, but to really be there to assist you. So make that introspection, check which people are around you. And some people, it could be quite important that you love them from a distance, all right? It does not mean that, because they're family, you automatically keep them. No, there are some that you would just love from a distance, right? And it should not mean, that they're bad people. It's just that they're not good for you at this time, right? When you are in a better space, stronger, better able to attend to such people, you'll be able to once again reach out to such people and, operate from a better space. But when you are building yourself, it's quite important that you assess the people that are around you, that bear the most influence in your life. So, for example, if a person does not add to your life and bring you joy when you are together, nah, there comes a phase where you must just, chuck them out. They must just go. It does not mean that this is going to be something permanent. It's just that when you're working in this on this particular phase, rather keep them out and build yourself, and then once you've done that, you'll be able to bring them back in. So it's not always practical all the time. And in some cases, instead of telling people to go completely, you can see less of them during the time you need to sort yourself out. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you have to be harsh, but just be genuine and truthful how it is you can attend to that situation. And you absolutely encouraged to, number one, date again. All right. It's okay to date again. It's okay to find love again. It's okay, to do what it is that makes you happy. And also invite friends over. You can do that. Plan some trips with your girlfriends. Have some girlfriends if you don't have any. In some cases, you don't have any girlfriends. But, build, identify ladies that you can connect with. Find, you know, position yourself in settings where you can meet more and interact with more people. Do something that is going to be fulfilling, it's going to be meaningful, and you're going to continue to grow. And so go on adventurous trips, right? Attend these adventurous trips, build yourself in every arena of your life. So, it's quite important that you take care of yourself. Self care is absolutely important. And so, when the exhausted discussion of balance for moms comes up, it's always about the tension between work and life, right? Taking care of kids. So, Emma Johnson about this says that you are a whole woman who has far more dimensions of yourself than just work and kids. So you have other dimensions that you need to attend to. So you need to take care of them. You have a gorgeous body, you have, good health that you need to maintain. Like there's so much that is great about you, which you need to cultivate. So make sure that you continue to exercise, make sure that personal development is continuing, make sure that self-care is definitely taking place. And also remember your social being. So you need to attend to your social needs as well. Make friendships, companionships, join a community, have that sense of belonging. It's quite important for your own growth. So, ladies, this cannot be highlighted and overly emphasized enough. Prioritize self care. Make sure that you make time for yourself. You prioritize this and don't allow anything to just come and take away from this important time, which is going to be uplifting you. It's like using an axe, right? And chopping and chopping and chopping with this axe and not taking the time to sharpen it, right? So self care for me is part of the things which are in the category of sharpening your axe. All right. Rebuild yourself. Make sure that you're going to be ready once again and revitalized to continue. So one of the challenges of being a single mom is time management. There's so many things that you must try and juggle between, right? It can be overwhelming if you co-parent. Then don't be like most single moms who will use the time when kids are with dad to catch up on chores. A lot of times you find that this mom is used to doing everything by themselves, and so even when the opportunity comes for the kids to be taken away and not be there anymore for some time, give it a weekend or a week, or even a day, this person will now go back to doing chores which they have not had time to do earlier. So take the time to rather prioritize self-care, prioritize things which are going to be income generators, things that are going to assist in you building yourself up, instead of you just working and doing chores the whole time. Okay, so again, self-care, absolutely important. So here's some hints and tips, okay? So on your commute, when you're going to work, on the drive, when people are complaining about traffic, you can use this time quite wisely, okay? So for example, you can use this time to listen to audiobooks, which are uplifting your spirit, which are, vibing you up, setting the tone for how you're going to start the day, okay? If it's affirmations, you listen to that. If it's a productivity messages for the day, you listen to that. If it is prayer, you listen to that. Whatever it is. If it's discussions about something that's meaningful for you and to you, you listen to that. But use that time quite wisely. So catching up with a friend over the phone sometimes as well, as long as you're not holding the phone, okay, for your safety, but you can do that as well. Also, slot exercise time is quite important. You can do it in the mornings, you can do it in the evenings, but it's quite important that you slot some time to exercise physically, you know, and also plan your day ahead. So schedule your favorite things like, watching a movie, reading a book, sleeping in. Sometimes you've been waking up every day, but now you can actually have the time to sleep in or have an hour extra, of a nap to recover, because rest is also quite important. So strive to do something, in the areas of your health as and fitness, in the areas of your creativity, in the areas of your social life, in the areas of your spiritual life, giving back, right? Attending, like helping out in a charity organization, just making brightening someone's day, right? It'll do something to you as well. Okay, so these are some things which we learn on part So, part two talks about money. And in this section, Emma Johnson highlights that the number one challenge that faces single moms is actually money. Okay, so not having enough money or not feeling like you have enough does affect your emotional as well as your mental health. So, money doesn't make the world go round, but you know what? It does make a difference. So the stress affects your ability to thrive as a person, and it also affects your ability to enjoy motherhood and to be an effective parent. So let's face it, ladies, it's quite important that you are going to, be bold and have that authority in raising your children, and being financially independent or at least financially stable does assist you with that quite a lot. Also, buying into the pressure to work all the time can warp your priorities and certainly takes away from your self-care. So it should not be a matter of you working all the time, always being at work, always being busy, and so on and so forth. But you want to get to a point of abundance. You want to get to a point where you're not desperate, you're not in need, right? You are fulfilled and you have what it is that you need, to be able to attend to at least most of the basics, if not all of them. Um, but yeah, so if you feel broke, for example, you likely don't feel great about yourself. You don't feel fulfilled. And that will impact the types of men that you attract. It'll impact the types of friends that you attract, the kind of places that you are seeing, the kind of things that you do, how you look, and just so many things. So you do not want to be the single mom who's broke. Okay, so it's quite important that we look at this as well and attend to it, and be truthful and genuine about it. It is a need that needs to also be addressed adequately. So never, ladies, ever be ashamed about prioritizing earning, and saving and growing your money. Okay, so you should actually be doing that. You should be having a reliable source of income that will sustain you as well as assist you in your role of parenting. So you should say it out loud that, you know what, I love making money. Money is not a horrible thing. It's something that, I love having. Okay. It's quite an important thing to have nowadays. And that building wealth is absolutely awesome. So build that wealth, attract that wealth, keep that wealth. You deserve it, ladies. So here follows three critical components to thriving in a financially, independent way as a single mom. You need to use the time, the money, and energy. Okay, so or rather, here's a formula that we're given. Time plus money plus energy is equal to abundance. Okay, so if you have the time, if you have the money, if you have the energy, you will feel more abundant. Okay, so that's a formula in that you should use in every part of your life. Okay, so ensure that you're gonna have time for yourself. Ensure that you will have money. Ensure that you will have the energy. Good health. You will feel abundant. Also, you want to create a lifestyle that you can afford right now. Okay, so not what you used to be able to afford, okay, or that you want to afford in future, but you know what? Take those steps. What is it that you can afford right now, and work around that, okay, and build yourself from there. So also you want to focus on earning. Okay, so it should not be a matter of living from month to month, but it should be about earning. How can you earn more? Okay, and how can you build, on something that will assist you financially as well? And don't feel guilty for being a busy work mom, all right? It's not about being a sit at home, stay at home mom. That's not the only way, to parent in an effective manner. Okay, so don't be ashamed for being this mom who's busy and who's got so many, who's got to attend to this and that. As long as you're balanced as well, it's quite important that you're going to be very well balanced. So go and earn, build your career, and never look back. Okay, so ensure that you're building something that will be sustainable, that will make you fulfill, so that you're going to parent from a point of fulfillment. And so identify your money mindsets, okay? Like just take a moment to reflect. How do you see money? How do you view money? Okay. And if you have the mindset of, money is a problem, people who have money are bad and evil people, okay, you may want to look into that, and you may want to have a paradigm shift, okay, and assist yourself into viewing money in a different way, viewing it as something that's quite useful, something that's going to assist you, to attend to a lot of important areas into your life and attend to them quite well. So also remove all limiting beliefs about money. Okay, if you have a limiting belief and you've identified it, it doesn't matter where it started from, it should not continue. Okay, end that, remove that from your mindset. Okay, and only entertain a mindset that's going to be, positive about money. Okay, because we want to attract this money. So some flawed examples include, single moms who are actually welfare moms. Okay, these are moms that rely on public assistance and on others to make ends meet. Okay, you don't want to be that person, who has to go and beg around and have to ask from this person and this person and this person, and it's as if you don't have capabilities of your own. No, all right. So don't be the welfare mom. And if for some reason or another you are living on welfare at the time, don't be comfortable in that state. Okay, use it, as a transition period to, a different kind of mom that you can be, a more capable mom, a more independent mom. Also, we get another flawed example of single moms with finances is a gold digger mom. Okay, so this one can't really make it without a man, or will manipulate, as many men out there to get what they want, okay, and have them finance whatever it is that they want. So don't be that mom either. You want to keep your ethics in check. You want to have your morals. You want to have your dignity. It should not be dragged down the drain because of a financial hiccup. No, find a way to attend to that one, but still keeping your your dignity and your ethics and your morals in check, or rather intact. And also we get a mom who works hard for her money. You get those that really believe in working very hard for your money. All right. And you just refuse anyone's help. You overwork. You pride yourself in sacrificing for your children. Hey, you know what? It's okay to sacrifice for your children. That's a good thing. But don't go to an extent of even refusing good assistance, ethical assistance, right? You deserve that assistance as well. It is okay to be as, it does not imply that you are weak, okay? As long as, once again, you're not relying on this, you're not, allowing yourself to be spoon fed, but, accepting assistance now and then is a good thing as well. You're only human too. So again, this is a good thing, but it can be flawed if you identify with this as if you know what you should be working hard all the time. No, okay. Yes, work hard, but you should be working from a point of abundance, and you should be working yourself to arrive at that point. And also we get those that, are like the princess moms, the princess single moms, right? Now this one isn't really proactive and is actually waiting for a knight in shining armor to come to her rescue. And you know what? Such a knight in shining armor doesn't really come. Yeah, so you find that this princess mom will end up whining, will end up expecting things from people, and well, ultimately you'll become disappointed, and it's really hard to sustain that kind of a life. And then also you get the man mom, okay, like who wants to just become the man, right? This one is career oriented, barely is there for her family, spends most of her time working, which is why it's quite important that we highlight that you need to strike a balance, okay? Be able to balance between your work as well as your family time, what needs to be done, your health, self-care, and all the stuff, be able to strike a balance, a very, very fair balance. Okay, and then another floor type is the hippie mom. Okay, now this kind of mom, is like doesn't really know how to make money. Thinks, very lowly of themselves. It's just like, I don't really care. I just go with the flow kind of thing. That's also a flawed example of a single mom and how they can spend their money. Okay, so you don't want to be either of these, all right? You rather want to be one who strives to be more independent, who is going to operate from a point of abundance. Okay. Note that, by the way, you can change your truth by changing your story. Okay, so change your story. Okay, retell your story. Work around your story, build on your story, and you'll be able to change your truth or even your reality. So, dear single moms, stop focusing on cutting back on costs and savings, but rather start focusing on earning. Okay, start focusing on making more money. Okay, you owe it to yourself, your sanity, and you're just your life in general to improve and transform yourself and silence all the naysayers in your life, because you know what? They are there, all right? Those people that never really wanted to see you progress, now when you are in this phase of your life, they find reason to just feel good about themselves, talking about you or saying all sorts of evil things or just negative things about you. Okay, so don't allow yourselves to succumb to that. Rather focus on earning more and building yourself, and silencing them with just pure success. It's possible. You are capable. Okay, so here's a magic word. Okay, this one word is outsourcing. You don't have to be doing everything by yourself. You should be able to outsource certain things, delegate when necessary, but have certain things that, this one's not done by me. For example, some chores. Yeah, like you can outsource this chore, pay someone to do this one, right? Pay someone to do all these smaller things that take up your time and are not fulfilling and are not assisting you in any way, so that you have more time to work on the things that are going to be towards your bigger goal. Remember, we said abundance is time and energy and money, right? You want to have that. So allow yourself that time and just give away certain of these things to people that operate and work with those things instead. So outsource. And Emma Johnson struck me when she said, "You stupid if you do your own laundry." And here I am busy doing my own laundry. I'm like, okay. But yeah, she highlights that there are certain services that you can just, pay someone else to do. Yeah, so laundry is definitely one of them. Instead of just using all these hours to just work on, chores and stuff, why don't you just pay someone, have them do these chores for you? So build your life on what you can afford and focus on earning more. Okay. Find a way to earn more. Build on that. Use your time to earn more. Don't use your time to just be, sulking, or use your time to be just doing all the chores all the time. No, have a system that's going to assist, outsource and use the time to earn more. And also, it's quite important that you're going to budget, okay? Make sure that you budget your money very well. Make sure that you become disciplined, okay? And use your money wisely, okay? Don't just spend it on lavish things, but use it very, very wisely. So stop shopping for luxuries, fancy things, trying to compete with so and so and how they look and stuff. No, okay. Focus on what it is that you have, right? And build yourself from what you have. Remember, you want to earn more, okay? And you don't want to fake, being rich and wealthy when you're not there yet. Okay, be comfortable, or rather be able to work with where you are to build yourself to where you want to be. And also cancel unused subscriptions, all right? That gym membership you're not using but you're paying for, right? All of these subscriptions that you signed up for but are not using, cancel them, okay? So that you have that money for yourself. And also cancel unused memberships to stuff, clubs and stuff that you pay for, all right? Cancel those. Stick to a food budget. Okay, don't just, I feel like eating this and buy it. No, have a budget. How much am I going to spend on food? And I strictly spend this and this on food. Okay, this is what I buy. Be that disciplined. And also get out of debt for good. Okay, you want to work yourself to being debt free, and once you have, don't go back to building more debt. Okay, no. Okay, so work yourself to being debt free, and it just sets your mind at ease when you are debt free as well. Also, do proper estate planning. Okay, consider what will happen to your kids if you're no longer there. Okay, keep your records updated. If you have a will, if you don't have a will, maybe have a will. But plan things for the future. Okay, think ahead, think for your family and not just for the current moment alone. So good guys, like women who are financially independent. Okay, so like really great guys, they love women who are financially independent. So arrive at a point where you're going to be financially independent, where you don't need a man to sustain you and fund you for things, right? Where he can just help you if he wants to, but you don't need it from him. So operate from that point. And women who are financially independent of their exes are very attractive to men, especially successful ones. So you don't even want to rely on your ex, if he is paying maintenance or whatever, you don't want to rely on that, okay? You want to be able to have that abundance, and rely on what it is that you have done, and what you have built, and continue and work from there. So don't intend to live off from your ex's finances finances, that sets new guys off. Okay, so totally work yourself to what is it that you can do and do that. Yeah, and not be that person who has to wait for money from this guy and that guy, because of that kid. And no, 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 you don't want to have that kind of drama around you. You want to have peace and you want to have stability. Okay, and that is what you need to focus your time and energy on. All right, ladies. So, if you have any, suggestions that you can share, what you have used, especially if you're a single mom and it worked for you, do share in the comment section below. More people can definitely benefit from that. But yeah, money is quite important. Let us not shy away from this one. Okay, let's take ownership of it. Let's be proud to say, you know what, I want and I'm going to work myself to financial independence, to acquiring more wealth, and I'm going to focus on earning more. All right, moving on to the next part, which is part three that talks about parenting. So here follows part three, parenting. The mere fact that you're a single parent doesn't actually mean you're raising children who will be worthless in life. Now, contrary to popular belief that, single moms or single parents just raise kids that, are going to be inadequate in life, but fortunately, a lot of, the history of single parents and children raised by single parents, has proven that this is indeed not true. Okay, so you don't have to feel as if your kids are going to, be inconvenienced or they're going to, have it hard in life just because you're a single parent. No, you do your best, and kids can actually be raised, in a very effective manner and grow up to be effective contributors to society, being raised by single parents and yes, by single moms too. So, research shows it's quite interesting that single mothers, who are educated, right, their education levels have a great impact on how well their children are raised, and that's true for all races. So it's not just about like whether you're single or single mom or not, but it also is about you and what you know and how equipped are you. For example, your education levels will also indicate how exposed you are to certain things, and how sensitive you are to certain things, how aware are you of certain things. And so you having that kind of knowledge and being able to use that in raising your children can actually raise very effective children as well. So, education levels are very important. And so, as a single parent, you should not really be focusing on, okay, what is it that you don't have, but focus on what is it that you do have. What strengths do you have? Use those strengths when parenting your children. So money, for example, doesn't make single moms happy, but it makes you less unhappy. I like this one. It's important. Once again, going to the money issue, it doesn't make single moms happy that they have money, but it does make you less unhappy. That you do have money in the bank, money saved. When you're living from that point of abundance. So, divorce or separated is not the problem, where kids are involved, but fatherlessness and poverty is the problem. Okay, so if you are divorced or if you are separated, that's not necessarily the problem. The problem is if the father figure, for example, is not there altogether completely, or when there's an issue of poverty, because you find that in some cases, it may not be their biological father, but they have a father figure, who's actually attending to that. And so the kids grow up, and though they did not have their own father, they had a figure to assist with, fatherly stuff. So we can't associate such kids with fatherlessness. So, who knows? You may just find another partner, a reliable partner who can take care or assist in taking care of your kids and become that father figure. So your children did not really lack in that area. And also, when you work yourself to not being poor, when you work yourself to being, wealthy, and then you remove that that element of poverty, it also helps because, fatherlessness as well as poverty are the main issues that make raising children quite difficult, or can have negative effects on children. So how to parent without a father? Well, you just do your part and do it to the best of your ability. And um, yeah, like you can expose your child to, you know, to 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 father figures. It doesn't, like I said, doesn't really have to just be that biological father. It can be a grandfather. Okay, it can be someone else that you also look up to, that can assist with that role. Even if it's mentoring, it doesn't have to be literally there to carry your child on their lap and stuff, but just mentoring them, being there to listen to your child. That can also go quite a long way. So when it comes time for answering those very crucial questions, because kids are going to ask, and it's their right to ask, and they're in the phase where they are putting certain things in their mind, and they want to understand certain things, and so they will ask you these questions. It's quite important that you're going to be honest to your children. Your children deserve the truth, and also you're going to be kind and keep feelings out of things. Okay, don't speak bad about the other parent, say all sorts of negative things, but be kind. And being a parent is hard for some people. Your dad wasn't ready for it, for example. Something that you can say instead of saying, oh no, your dad is a horrible person, useless piece of whatever, whatever. You can just put things in a mild way for kids to be able to hear better and be able to appreciate both their parents in an equal manner. Also, answer all their questions. Avoid saying stuff like, I'll tell you when you're older. Okay, they need to know right now. Make the time to explain these things to them. Focus on that yours is a whole family, right? And in conversation, say that in our family, okay, like we believe as our family. Let them see that though it's you and them, right? It does not necessarily mean an incomplete family, that it is a complete family, okay? And you can operate in fullness even with just you and them being in your family. So also don't try to dismiss pain, that a child experiences due to their father's absence. So listen basically to your child very attentively, very authentically, very genuinely, okay? And put yourself in their shoes, and don't be too hard on them or expect them to just shove certain feelings away and stuff. No, help them to deal with these feelings in the best manner possible. So hard as it may be, you need to maintain a relationship with your kid's dad. They will always be in your life. So find a way, in a respectful manner, to just relate in a respectful manner. Have the kids comfortably, you know, relate with their own dad, and it's because at the end of the day, you're going to be with this person, or they're gonna be part of your life for forever, or for a very long time. So make sure that you're going to have a way, to cooperate with one another. Yeah, regardless of whatever the situation, have a way to, at least work together, at least communicate, and arrive at certain conversation points, with each other. It's going to help you a great deal. It's going to help, the process of just moving on, because this is going to be something that's there. Call it a thorn that's going to be there forever, right? But it's going to be there and you need to work with it. All right, so that's the end of part 3 for now. The next part is part 4 that talks about dating. All right, and last but definitely not least, we're looking at part four that talks about dating. Now, in this area, Emma Johnson is just, quite wild and spontaneous. All right, she even says, you know what, if you're very conserved about this, maybe you want to skip this section. Yeah, yeah, but she really speaks about it in a very spontaneous. You know what? You need to really tap into that sexier self of yours as well. You need to love who you are. You need to make yourself attractive once again. It's okay to, to just want to go out there and mingle, and, have fun. And doesn't mean that now that you're a single mom, you need to just be homely and just, no, you can actually still have fun and still be attractive out there and entertain such attraction from the opposite sex. So, in this section, she also mentions that you need to decide what you want to model for your kids where relationships are concerned, and you need to model it. If you want your kids to believe that, what, the world is just this perfect place and everybody's going to get married and everybody's going to stay in marriage, and families are going to just be like the two parent family is the ideal, and that's what everybody should have in order for them to be classified as normal. If that's what you want to model for your child, well, go ahead. But soon enough you'll realize that that's actually not the reality nowadays. You look at stats, and you realize that it's not a norm. It becomes quite a special thing when it's there and it's done right, but in some cases it's not really there, or in some cases it will be there, the two parent family will be there, but then one is suppressed, because for the sake of keeping this image, one is suppressed and they're not themselves. So you need to be able to model to your child that, what, sometimes you know in life plan A doesn't work out, and if it doesn't work out, what is it that you do? So be genuine enough for them. Remember, they're also in the same planet as you are. Okay, the same challenges that you went through, or some that you heard of or just experienced or heard from other people's experience, they could also go through one day. So they need to be equipped, with ways of how to deal with such, and you and your experience can be one of the best ways to empower your kids. So decide about it, what you would like to model. Do you want to model that, you this perfect person who does not even have any feelings for the opposite sex, or do you want to model that it's a normal phenomena and this is how it can be handled? So you decide, and you will model what is appropriate according to you and your standards. Now remember that they may someday be in a situation where they date and have learned from your examples. They can make better choices about their lives too. So you know if you want to model out to them that if things don't go as you planned, this is what you can do, right? If you want to model that to them, someday they'll look back and they'll be grateful and say, you know what, I learned that if things don't go you know perfectly well, this is what I can do. So then they're not really set aback, right, if things don't go the way that they would have wanted them to go, because you would have modeled it at them in a very, very proper manner. So continue to be genuine, continue to be human, reveal that human side to your kids, have that kind of a bond with them, help them to understand what goes on, be comfortable in conversing with them, be a friend to them, be a parent but also a friend to them. Let them be able to come to you and discuss certain things, because you're going to be there by the side, and you're gonna share truthful accounts of certain things. So yes, use this as an opportunity to actually bond with your kids, and and even in that area, because that is where a lot of things go wrong, in the dating area. So yes, you can go out, you can start dating, you can go out on a date, you can meet certain people that you are attracted to, you can do all these kind of things as long as it's in line with what you would have, decided you will model to your kids, and not in a matter of feeling you have to hide and pretend and stuff. No, no, no. But this is genuinely what you'd like to model, okay? And so that it doesn't take away from who you are, it doesn't take away from you just being yourself fully. Okay, so it's not just about kids, because that's what sets a lot of parents, single moms, are back where they want to really be perfect for their kids. Kids know that it's not a perfect world. Okay, so live out, the a genuine way better, and yeah, and have them be able to learn from that. So thank you so much. Do share which has been your favorite part, in Emma Johnson's book. Do share your favorite part in the comment section below, and we'll meet again in the next book summary. Take care.